Jessie Black should have realized something was wrong when she saw his neck. Oliver Bowers was one of the only lawyers at Hammond, Rose & Rivera who still wore a tie to the office every day, regardless of whether he had a client meeting or a court date. The suit jacket might come off on a busy day, draped on the back of a chair, but the tie never moved. Today, the top two buttons of his shirt were open, revealing his undershirt and his pale, fleshy throat. His face looked more lined than usual, more weary, and his tie lay on his desk. He stared across his desk at her, and his eyes, deep-set in his unfriendly, blunt face, locked solely on Jessie, ignoring her junior associate, Aaliyah Allen, who sat stiffly in the chair beside her. A flurry of snowflakes whipped past the windows behind Bowers's head. The wind made no sound that she could hear, so different from the rattly windows of the DA's office, where she used to hear every blast and howl of winter. Like all of the office space in the tower occupied by Hammond, Rose & Rivera, LLP, Bowers's corner office was tightly insulated, its temperature perfectly regulated, except that right now the air seemed just slightly too warm, and it smelled. A faint odor of liquor. "Oliver, have you been drinking? How is that any of your—" He shook his head and sighed. "A few fingers of bourbon to steady my nerves after Marnie called. My daughter." "Start from the beginning. You said your granddaughter has been accused of murder?" "Arrested. They put her in some jail called Riverside. Do you know it? I assume you do." "I know Riverside." "I have a car waiting outside. I want you with me." His gaze flicked to Aaliyah. "Both of you." In her peripheral vision, Jessie saw Aaliyah cross her arms over her chest and turn away. "Give us a few minutes to get our things," Jessie said. Back in her own office, Jessie glanced at her desk, where a plastic fork jutted from a half-eaten salad next to a sheet of paper covered in notes and numbers. Jessie tossed the remainder of the salad into her trash can, but paused over her scribbled notes. Before Bowers had summoned her, she had been focused on her other project, house hunting. She and Leary had just put in a bid on a house in Devon, a house they could suddenly afford thanks to Jessie's move from the government sector to the private one. Their real estate agent believed their bid would be accepted. Soon they would be leaving their Center City one-bedroom apartment behind and moving to a 3-bedroom, 2-story house in the suburbs. She checked her phone for a message, but saw none. She called Leary. "Did Darla call you?" she said, referring to their real estate agent. "Hello to you, too." She sensed a smile in his voice. "Sorry, the wait is killing me." "You want to run out for a coffee?" he said. "I would like that, but I can't. I need to go to Riverside." "New case?" "I think so." She pulled on her coat. "I'll give you—" Jessie Black should have realized something was wrong when she saw his neck. Oliver Bowers was one of the only lawyers at Hammond, Rose & Rivera who still wore a tie to the office every day, regardless of whether he had a client meeting or a court date. The suit jacket might come off on a busy day, draped on the back of a chair, but the tie never moved. Today, the top two buttons of his shirt were open,